struck him out. Box it, baby! Let's play!
Well, here we go tonight from inside the Oakland Coliseum. The Mariners and the Oakland Athletics, the middle game of this three-game series. The Mariners taking game one last night in extra innings. What might the Mariners have in store for us tonight? A chance for a series win against the division foe and the Oakland A's. Mike, we take a look at the Jack-in-the-Box starting lineup for the Mariners.
Gene Segura is going to lead things off. Scored the go-ahead run in the 10th. Scored on Guillermo Heredia's go-ahead double in the 10th inning. Really been playing well. Nelson Cruz back in the lineup. He will hit third. Not cleanup, but hitting third as the DH. And Mike Zunino, his 7th home run of the year, a 2-run home run to tie the ball game up late to take it in the extra innings. For Gossett, Mariners saw him 3 times last year as a starter. He has struggled a little bit this year, was sent back to AAA. 2 starts for him, ERA over 11, opponents hitting .355. He's given up 1 home run this year.
And the numbers this year in the majors for Gossett, not pretty. Both starts coming against the Angels. Starts tonight off with strike 1 to Gene Segura.
Last year against the Mariners, 0-3 with a 9.49 ERA. His average fastball, 93 miles an hour. Fastball slider. It will mix in a changeup and a curve.
Over to Chapman at third base. There's 1 out. The rest of the defense for the A's.
Mark Cannon, we saw him in left field in last night's ballgame. He'll move over and play center. Franklin Barreto getting his first start of the year for the A's. He is at second, and the veteran Jonathan Lucroy will do the catching.
Now, how about Guillermo Heredia? A chance to play every day, or nearly every day now, with various injuries for the Mariners. Last night, the game-winning hit out to right center field, scoring Segura all the way from first base. And I don't know, Mike, the biggest question, of course, for Heredia offensively has been what he can do against right-handers. Especially, it's one thing to see a right-hander every once in a while, but to run him out there on a regular basis against righties. And interested in your thoughts. It's been less than 30 at-bats so far this year, right on right for Heredia, but he's hitting over 300, nearly 310 in fact.
Well, I think the main thing for him, too, is his on-base percentage right around 440, so he's been patient. I talked to Edgar about him today, and we've talked about the walks. He had 2 walks in last night's ballgame to go with the double that he hit. And the hardest thing, I think, when all of a sudden you're in there against the right-handers are pitches that are going to break away from him. He can still handle the fastball or changeup, but more times than not, it's the slider or maybe a cutter moving away. And I asked Edgar about that and his ability to command the strike zone the way that he has. And Edgar said, and I asked him, I said, have you guys talked about that? And he said, no, he's always been able to do that. So that's a plus.
Busy night early on for Chapman at third base, 2 outs.
Which could make things a little bit easier for him. You mentioned the numbers, that not a lot of ABs, but hitting over 300. So a good start, which is also important for his confidence. But he's played well.
And it is good to see this man back in the lineup after missing a couple of games with an elbow injury. Hit by pitch. Nelson Cruz back in the lineup, batting third.
Spoke to Nelson today and asked him about it, and he said that he felt pretty good. He said after the game where he was hit on the elbow, he said that he had a compression sleeve on his arm. He took that off, and he said it really swelled up badly after the game and almost immediately on him. But he said he feels much better now. I asked him if he was going to have a thicker elbow pad on, and he said no, it was just bad luck that it ended up hitting in that one crease. It's never happened to him before. So he feels fine with the equipment that he has. The main thing is that he's back in the lineup.
A ball and a strike to Cruz. If he can reach Seager's on deck here in the first inning. Now for Daniel Gossett, putting up good numbers this year in AAA, struggling in his 2 starts in the majors against the Angels. More runs than innings pitched. Last year, a rookie starting 18 games for the A's. Very high earned run average, over 6. Fights this one off. Mariners entering tonight now a season best 9 games over 500. Chasing after it. Gossett retires the side in order. Strikes out Nelson Cruz as we go to the bottom of the first. Marco Gonzalez about to climb the mound for the Mariners. An A's lineup that has been red hot on the road. Mike, it has struggled here at home, however.
Yeah, but they are 6th in home runs in the American League. They have some pop. Chet Pinder pinch hitting last night's ball game in the lineup today, hitting 2nd. Matt Chapman will move up and be the cleanup hitter. Stephen Piscotty hits 7th in the lineup. For Marco Gonzalez again pitched really well in his last outing against the Tigers. Overall a 3-3 record, a 4.66 ERA, 43 strikeouts, over 9 walks. An excellent command this year.
First pitch strike to Semien. And we typically see Semien either batting leadoff or batting second. Tonight leading things off for the A's. In play up the middle. Segura ranging, keeping his feet. Out number 1. Good looking play by Gene Segura. Taking a hit away from his counterpart.
And look at the replay, ranging far to his left, has the strong throwing arm, no problem, beats him by a half a step.
Well, now that brings up Chad Pinder. We saw him pinch hit last night. He's in the starting lineup tonight in left field.
And the defense for the Mariners, John Andreoli, making his major league debut. Congratulations to him. Playing right field. Gordon Beckham at second base. Mike Zunino doing the catching.
Marco pumping strikes, 0-2. And for the A's, we talked about that incredible road trip out east for them before beginning this series against the Mariners. They went 7-3, and they slugged nearly 20 home runs in those 10 games. But it has been a different story here at home. Almost got him. A's have now lost 4 in a row here inside the Coliseum, and they're averaging 2 runs or fewer in those 4 games. So much different offense for whatever reason, at least recently here at home versus on the road.
It was just a couple of runs for him last night. Mike Leake really threw the ball well. The bullpen was terrific.
We saw how hard or how difficult it is for the ball to fly here at night, especially on a rainy, misty night like last night.
It was terrible last night.
Unless you're Mike Zunino.
Unless you're Mike Zunino. Good point.
Another 2-2. foul. I mean, it is a relatively short list when you talk about guys who are ballpark proof. Nelson Cruz, one of them. Mike Zunino, another one of them. Mariners fortunate to have two of those guys. Full count.
We mentioned how well Marco was able to throw the ball in his last outing, and it's probably 2 to 3 weeks ago talking to Scott Service about Marco, and he was saying that he's somebody that has to mix it up, use all of his pitches, and we certainly have seen that.
Picks up his first strikeout of the night, gets Chad Pinder for out number 2.
You look at his last outing, he threw his fastball 34% of the time. His changeup, which is his best off-speed pitch, 25% of the time. His curveball at 21 and his cutter at 20. So it's difficult to sit on any one pitch. He throws a lot of first pitch strikes, so working ahead.
Faces Jed Lowry DHing tonight for the A's. Normally at second base. A's announcing today that Chris Davis, they're slugging DH. Occasionally we see Davis in left field. Officially on the disabled list, so we will not see Davis at all this series. Bob Melvin hoping it will not be more than the 10 days for Davis on the DL. That's a break for the Mariners. Quickly 0-2. Lowry batting well over 300 so far this year. 9 home runs. Off to a fantastic start. Soft chopper. This will be a tough play. Beckham a bare hand. Can't hold on. Lowry aboard with 2 outs.
Gordon Beckham was playing up the middle behind second base. It was a changeup right off the end of the bat, and with Gonzalez, typically a left-hander will fall off the mound towards the third base side, and trying to make the barehanded play wasn't going to get him.
Two outs, an infield base hit. Here is Matt Chapman. Like we were talking about Lowry getting off to a hot start from a player's point of view, and it might certainly differ from guy to guy, but when is it no longer early, right? We are well over a month and a half into the season.
Early as far as the player and what type of season he's going to have.
Right. So people say, oh, well, it's early still. We're not a full 2 months into it, but are we
We're
past
almost a third of the way there?
Yeah, we're past early now.
I would think so. I think as you get around that 150 at bats, I think you're in pretty good shape. Can change a little bit, but he came into the game hitting .314.
Sure. This is slugged out to left field. Gamble comes in. 2-hand squeeze with a Superman dive. Out number 3 as we go to the second. Sports is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting R&B's Kenny Babyface Edmonds June 22nd. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. And by your local Ford stores. A little cool tonight, 59 degrees at first pitch. First pitch strike to Seager. Middle third of the order due up here in the Mariners' second. Oh, 1-2. Gossett able to retire the Mariners in order in the first. A couple of ground ball outs and struck out Nelson Cruz. Shift on for Seager. Strike three called. Seager not pleased with that at all. Talking with crew chief Brian Onora.
Second strikeout for Gossett. Set up on the inside corner. Maybe a cut fastball. Primera Supermo. A little bit of a late break to it.
One out, nobody on for Ryan Healy. Now, win tonight for the Mariners would make for a season best 5-game winning streak. They've won 4 straight for the second time now this year. And so far this season, they have been able to handle the A's. This is the third series. 5-2 for Scott Services Ball Club against Oakland this year. Previous 2 series against Oakland coming at Safeco Field. Back-to-back strikeouts. Now Friday, June 1st is Mariners pajama bottom night when the Mariners take on the Rays. They're comfy, they're cozy, and they're free to the first 10,000 fans. Get your tickets today at mariners.com. Mike, my only hope is that when the Rays come to town at the end of the homestand, a lengthy homestand, I really hope that Sergio Romo starts one of those games, or should I say opens one of those games.
Did he start that second game? I know he did. He did. And how'd that go?
I think it also worked.
Really? 2 times in a row. Back-to-back days. Having a reliever start.
A very pioneering way to look at things by Tampa Bay. Having a reliever start the game if the matchups they feel suit, in this case Romo, well, to have their starting pitcher work deeper, not have to face the top of the order 3 times through. Two balls and 2 strikes. Gamble beginning to heat up a little bit. 9 hits his last 8 games. Hitting nearly 350 in that stretch. Zunino had the big home run last night to tie it up. His 7th of the season on deck. Strike 3 called. Gamble not happy with the call, now making his way to first, but that completes the strikeout. As Gossett strikes out the side in order, he's punched out 4 in a row. score. We open up the bottom of the second. We'll take a look at our Coors Banquet timeless moment. Back on this day in 2002, Shawn Green, a 4-homer game. Almost as rare of a feat as they come. He was the 14th player in Major League history with 4 home runs in a game. We saw it twice last year. Scooter Gennett. So J.D. Martinez. There's Mark Canha leading things off. On the first pitch, routine fly ball. Already awaiting, puts it away out number 1. Mike, would you believe that a 4-homer game is more rare than a perfect game? There have been 23 perfect games in baseball history. There have been only 16 instances of a player homering 4 times in a game. Of course, Mike Cameron, one of them.
I would say that's a bit surprising.
And yet, you know how hard it is to hit a home run in a game.
That's another way to look at it. It's
Let
very
alone
difficult.
doing it 4 times. There's Matt Olson.
Now, what about the immaculate inning?
Well, that's becoming commonplace now, Mike. It's the strikeout era.
Okay.
That's been on the rise. I think last year that happened 9 times, roughly.
But yet, it's still your favorite, even though it happens 9
Well, I'll be honest. It is disappointing that it's becoming more commonplace. But still, 9 times in a whole year.
Right.
Just think of all the pitchers, Mike. Still pretty rare. The shift on for the 1-1. And the thing that made J.D. Martinez, his 4-homer game, so impressive, he homered 4 times off of 4 different pitchers.
That is impressive.
Marco behind 3-1. Gets it full. Has Piscotty on deck. Number 7 hitting right fielder for the A's. Here comes the payoff. Strike 3 call. Second punch out for Marco Gonzalez.
We'll take a look at it. Just a good fastball towards the top of the strike zone. Getting the left-handed hitting Olson. Primero Supremo. Probably the cutter.
Here's Piscotty. Mike, something just happened for the first time for Marco Gonzalez. And you know what it is.
We were just talking about it before the game.
He struck out a left-handed hitter for the first time this year. Now, to be fair to Marco, he's seen less than 30 at-bats against lefties, but no walks, no strikeouts to a left-handed hitter until Olson. Well, we were wondering if this would be a season-long thing. We were debating if it would be better for Marco, who will probably strike out at least 150 guys this year. If it'd be better for him to not strike out any over the course of the season, have just one.
For you, it would be.
That's what it was. It was an internal debate. We'll put it that way.
Well, that's his first strikeout of a left-handed hitter.
Ball and 2 strikes to Piscotty. I will say this, Mike, when I was explaining this to you or talking to you about this before the game started, you were really good at sounding interested. I mean, you really sold it well. It's an admirable effort.
Well, I know in baseball it's about a lot of different numbers, and you love those. That would have been different.
Well, Marco faces the minimum, a couple of strikeouts. John Andrioli will be coming to the plate for the Mariners in his Major League debut. Scoreless, we open up the top of the third. Gossett has struck out 4 in a row. Faces Mike Zunino here. Starts him off with ball 1. Well, last year, Gossett facing the Mariners on 3 separate occasions. One of those times he gave up 4 home runs to the Mariners, one of them hit by Mike Zunino.
I was talking to Mike today about the home run that he hit last night, and he said that he was actually looking for a fastball out over the plate. It ended up being a cutter. Didn't really have much to it, and he was able to catch it on the barrel and hit it out of the ballpark.
Piscotty chasing back to the wall, and Piscotty robs Zunino of an opposite field homer. What looked like would be a routine fly ball turns out to be a highlight catch.
Well, looking at the flags, it is blowing out to right field, so opposite from last night. But a well-timed jump by Piscotty. Would have been the 8th home run of the year for Mike.
Batting in the 8th position, right fielder, number 57.
Well, congratulations, John Andreoli, making his major league debut. We saw him in spring training. A number of his family members are here, including his father. John, his first year in the Mariners organization, turning 28 next month. Former 17th round draft pick by the Cubs back in 2011. And put up good numbers so far this year with the Rainiers, hitting nearly 300. The 0-2. Shot high out to right field. More routine this time for Piscotty. 2 outs. Now, his family from New England, from Worcester, Massachusetts. His father taking a flight out earlier today. His mother, his fiance, and a good friend of his as well getting on a separate flight. John saying that he was able to call his parents at 1:30 in the morning East Coast time, and now they were booking a ticket right away, and they were able to get here in time.
Yeah, that's really cool. Got a chance to congratulate him today during batting practice, and it was fun to watch him in batting practice. I'm not sure he's hit the ball as hard as he was hitting the ball today. He was pretty excited to be here.
2 outs for Gordon Beckham, batting 9th, Mariners second baseman. Left side, Semien can't get there. Mariners' first hit comes to the 9th batter. 2 out single, Gordon Beckham. Well, consider your night teed up on Saturday when the Mariners host the Twins at 7:10. The first 10,000 fans will receive a free T-shirt featuring speedy leadoff man D. Gordon. It's all brought to you by Alaska Airlines. You can pick up your tickets at mariners.com. This will be the first real lengthy homestand for the Mariners this season. We hope to see you at Safeco Field, a 10-game stand. Twins, Rangers, and Rays. 2 outs, a man aboard for Segura. We had a chance to talk with Manny Acta, who was the acting manager when Segura slid across the plate for the turned out to be winning run last night after Scott was ejected. And we were asking him about possibly Lucroy blocking the plate had Segura been ruled out. And Manny said, as we kind of suspected, Mike, that they would have challenged that on that basis alone had Segura been ruled out. But Manny then also said, it is such a judgment call. That is such a tough call to have overturned, blocking the plate by a catcher.
You said that Manny also said that it is still legal to actually, if the catcher has the ball and is blocking the plate, you can actually run into him. You can run them over.
Which seems like such a no-no in today's game.
In today's game, you just don't see it anymore, and it's because they try to discourage it. I spoke to Scott about it. He said the same thing, that you can do that. He said, but these guys have been trained over the last few years to try to go to the back part of the plate And so the thinking part of that is almost out of their mind completely. And he said, and he was interesting because last time when we saw Gene come around third base, you could see him look out towards right field to see where the play was at. And at that moment, he knew that there was going to be a play at the plate. And Scott was saying that you would prefer to have the player go feet first, obviously because of the shin guard, and he almost was hurt. They said sometimes because of the play and the way everything is happening, you don't have any other choice. You either run him over or you dive into home plate as Gordon takes off. Stolen base.
First this year for Beckham.
But it's an interesting play because, as Scott said to me, he said back when we played, and Scott was a catcher, of course, he said the play is either slide straight in or run the catcher over. And he said, and if Gene decided to do that legally, he could have.
None of this back corner of the plate business.
Right. But it's just the players just don't think of it that way anymore.
Almost gets him. And I can tell you what else. As we take a look at the play that happened last night, you were saying,
Gene look out to right field. There it is. Now he knows there's going to be a play. Lucroy drops that left foot in front of the plate as he's diving in. He was safe, and fortunately didn't hurt himself.
2 outs, Beckham in scoring position. Let's say in that instance, Segura does go right through Lucroy and happens to injure Lucroy. Even if Segura, and he would have been within his rights to do that, the A's would have been furious.
Yes.
There would have been some form of retaliation, more than likely. Even if it was by the letter of the law.
And I'm curious because of all of that and how close it was and how quickly the play developed at the plate with him diving in there, Lucroy trying to make the tag. If the home plate umpire would have even been able to get it right.
Choppy to Simeon. Shortstop throws to first base. Beckham is stranded. We played 2.5. Mariners and the A's scoreless. Mariners starters last 6 games. How about these numbers? 1.82 earned run average, opposing batting average under 200. 1.82 ERA, I beg your pardon. And the command, the strikeouts and walks, fantastic as well.
Well, I think if you look at the Mariners and they continue to win baseball games with half their lineup out, you have to lean on your pitching. And you saw the numbers. The starters have really pitched well. The bullpen also has pitched well. And I think another key to it, one of the reasons why the bullpen has been pitching so well is the starters, along with those numbers, are pitching deeper into the game. Almost 7 innings they're averaging.
Marco had 0-2 to Lucroy. Lucroy batting over 270 his first year with the A's, a 1-year deal. Jammed him off the hands. Kind of knuckles there on Segura. There's that number one.
Well, jammed him and it was spinning sideways.
Batting in the ninth position, second baseman, number 1.
That brings up Franklin Barreto, the second baseman. This will be his first plate appearance this year in the majors. Made his major league debut last year, just 22 years old, out of Venezuela. Played in 25 games last season for the A's. Well, along the lines, Mike, of the pitching and for the Mariners, one of the great conversation pieces for the Mariners this season has been the late come from behind wins, whether it be in extra innings or in regulation.
Right.
And the offense, for good reason, gets a lot of credit for that. But we're talking about the starting pitching, the bullpen as well. It seems like more times than not, Mike, if the opposing team gets a 4-spot up in an early inning, and those come from behind wins are set up because the starter, or in most cases the reliever, the rest of the way, not letting anybody else cross the plate. And Drioli's first chance in right field. And the rookie plays the wind, and he's able to make the catch. Now, right fielders are on notice so far tonight.
Well, it's a little bit different in this stadium with the way the wind is blowing. And I saw Piscotty up against the fence robbing a home run from Zunino, and this just gets him turned around a little bit, but it stays with it. You're right about the pitching, Aaron. That's the biggest key, is you have to be able to hold the score where it's at to give the offense a chance to do the things that we were talking about even last night. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Marcus Semien taking on Marco Gonzalez today by AARP. Updated numbers: 1 for 5, double, 3 strikeouts. The 1-1.
For Marco this year, first pitch strikes at 68%. So far, 7 out of 10 today. So right where he's been all year long.
And that is a really high number, 68%. Behind here, 3 balls and a strike. In play, Segura shed high, throws a dart to first, and Marco Gonzalez has faced 1 over the minimum through 3 scoreless. Fourth, Mariners and A's 0-0. Join T-Mobile in showing your appreciation for all military and vets by sharing a photo or video using hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each tweet or post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans. First pitch to Guillermo Heredia, missing for ball 1. Line drive over Chapman's glove and a fair ball ticketed for the corner. Heredia extra bases. He gallops into second base, a leadoff double.
We saw Heredia hit the ball the other way into right center field last night for a double. And today he gets a fastball probably on the inner third above the belt. Just tomahawks it down into the corner.
Go ahead run in scoring position with good speed for Nelson Cruz. Now with the day off, it's been 3 days for Nelly Mike since he has seen some live pitching. Even for a guy who is as good as Nelson Cruz, do you have to do anything different for your eyes to get back in the swing of things if you've been away for that long?
I think that normally he would be okay, but we did see him today when Marco Gonzalez was getting loose down in the pen. He was standing in the batter's box just watching pitches, probably trying to get some timing from that. It's something that hitters will do from time to time.
The 1-1. High lift, right field. Piscotty making the catch. Heredia tags. Motors into third base in their standing. Back to the Ford Sports Desk. Angie, what's happening?
Now batting, number 15, Kyle Seager.
I would expect nothing less. Thank you, Angie. First pitch missing to Kyle Seager.
A's have their infield in. Good speed with Heredia at third.
Count evens up. Seager called out on strikes his last time up, was not too pleased with the call. Heredia a leadoff double, advancing to third on the fly ball out by Cruz. The 1-1. Ground ball. Simeon bobbles, can't find it. Heredia scores. Seager is safe. Mariners on top 1-0.
Be an error on the shortstop, but the Mariners putting pressure on the defense. Scott Service, this comes from the dugout. He is going on contact, so as soon as the ball is hit, he takes off. And Simeon on the exchange drops it.
Mariners get the first run of the ball game tonight. Here is Ryan Healy. First pitch. This is cranked out to right field, but hanging up. Back onto the track is Canna. 2 outs. On Sunday, June 3rd, when the Mariners host the Rays, Aquafina is giving all kids 14 and under the opportunity to make backyard memories of their own with a free Mariners bat and ball set. Get tickets for the whole family at Mariners.com. Wrapping up a lengthy homestand at Safeco Field.
Not surprised to see the contact play on early in the ball game. We mentioned Heredia and his speed. That is a factor. I think the other part about it, though, so many of the Mariners have been injured. The lineup is a little bit different looking. I was talking to Scott today before the game, and he told me that even last night, just trying to get something going, the Mariners didn't score till late when Zunino hit the 2-run home run. It was only the second time this year he put the hit and run on. When Heredia was running, I thought maybe he was trying to steal. I asked him about that, and he said it was actually a hit and run. Ended up being a fly ball out. But just trying to make things happen with different parts of the lineup. And so typically the contact play, you're not always going to do that early in the game, but took a chance and it paid off with a run.
Sliced out to Pender in left field to end the inning. The Mariners grab the first run of the ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Mariners. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at Safeco.com. Do more. And by Steel. To find your local Steel dealer, visit SteelDealers.com. All the fans getting together before the game tonight, right by the food trucks.
You dined out there this evening?
I always do. The Southern Kitchen food truck was ours of choice tonight. Came highly recommended, as did the crab fries. Worth all $12. Sorry, that young man cannot be eating as well as we did before the game. He'll get there one day. Here's Chad Pender.
This will be the second time through the lineup for Marco. So far, just one hit, infield hit.
Bounce foul. Marco ahead in the count now.
We're talking about at the start of the game, mixing it up, and you can see all the pitches that he throws and the percentages. So when he's ahead in the count, you're still not sure as a hitter what he's going to go to.
For Marco, his first full season with the Mariners, his first full season recovering from Tommy John. His 2-2. First walk tonight and a rare walk this season for Marco Gonzalez. Well, fans, our annual Ultimate Fan Contest has officially returned. Root Sports will be looking for the ultimate fan of the state of Alaska throughout the month of May. Just send us a photo and story on our website, rootsports.com/ultimate-fan, and you could win a VIP trip for 2 to Seattle in September, a personalized jersey, and more. You can find official rules by visiting rootsports.com. Leadoff walk to Pinder. Here is Lowry. Stevie Buckner says he does not go. Now for the A's this year, you look at struggles within your own division. Oakland 9-18 against the West this season. Mentioned the Mariners have had a winning record, 5-2 against the A's so far this year. Not missing by much. The series wrapping up tomorrow. Day baseball from the Coliseum. And the Mariners back home. Count levels out. For all the A's struggles within their own division, they have succeeded against the East. 12-4 against the AL East. What team has a better record against that division? The 2-2. That leadoff walk to Chad Pinder, snapped 7 in a row, retired by Marco Gonzalez.
For Marco, 50 pitches, 31 strikes.
He's been pretty consistent, very consistent, in fact. His last 5 starts, he's worked into the 6th inning each time. Back-to-back full counts here in the 4th. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks to begin the 4th inning.
And Mel Stottlemyre out of the dugout.
I'll be sure to stick around after the game for Mariners post-game presented by Alaska Airlines. Mariners lead at 1-0. It was Heredia, a leadoff double in the 4th. He would come around to score. A's threatening here in the bottom half of the inning, though. And a guy with plenty of power, Matt Chapman, coming up.
Unusual for Marco to walk a couple of batters in his outing, much less back-to-back batters.
Well, to your point, he has made 9 starts, and only once this year has he walked 2 batters. It's been 1 or fewer than all the other 8 entering tonight. Two on, nobody out for Chapman. Looks at strike 1. Line to center. Heredia puts on the brakes and he makes the catch. Pinder on his way to third base. He slides safe. One out, runners on the corners.
For Guillermo, he has a great throwing arm. He almost throws across his body a little bit. Didn't get enough air under the ball. Bounced 3 times as he came into third. That's the reason why he was a little bit late.
Tying run at third base for the A's, and steps Canna. Well, apparently has gotten colder. Strike one. Canna getting the start in center field tonight. 6 home runs on the season. Does have one against the Mariners. Marco ahead 1-2.
After the cutter in off the plate, he came back with a changeup. 84 miles an hour at the bottom of the strike zone.
Marco trying to work around a couple of walks to begin this 4th inning. Canna calls for time. Pinder at third, Lowry at first. The 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout for Marco Gonzalez, out number 2.
He goes to his curveball. I like the curveball right there. He gets the strikeout. But you look at ground ball percentages for Marco on the curveball. This year's been at 68%. Even if he puts it in play because it was down, has a chance to get the double play and get out of the inning. Picks up the strikeout instead.
Now facing Olsen, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd.
And another look at the curveball.
One and one. Marco really breezed through the first 3 innings for the most part. Just 1 base runner, an infield base hit. Trying to wiggle out of the 4th, though. Looks like he will. Gamble comes in, puts it away for out number 3, and Marco Gonzalez works around a couple of walks to begin the inning. Mariners lead going to the top of the 5th inning. Mike Zunino 0 for 1. Could have been 1 for 1. Piscotty taking a home run away.
Mike with a home run last night. Thought he had another home run in his first at bat.
Now I know the wind was blowing and is blowing out to right field, but Zunino, if he hits even a routine fly ball out to right field, it can fool you.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. Behind 0-2. Canna wants it in center. 1 down.
Now batting, number 57, John Andrioli.
Now second time up for John Andrioli making his major league debut. Flew out to right field his last at bat. Andrioli, a young man who's paid his dues in the minors this year in AAA for the 4th consecutive season. Not a ton of power, but over the course of his minor league career has been a good on-base guy. Had a 50 steal season a number of years ago in high A ball.
Had a chance to play quite a bit in the spring. A couple of injuries for the Mariners. Gave him some more playing time. So Scott Service had a good look at him.
John Andrioli, his father, also named John, played in the NFL for the Patriots. Here's John. Was actually featured on a Wheaties box that had the entire Patriots team on it. Good chance there's 1 or 2 of those around the Andrioli household in Worcester, Mass. So his father played in the NFL, and for John, his cousin pitched in the majors. Daniel Bard. Daniel now out of baseball, but for a while there was one of the best late inning closers in the American League. The 2-2. Into right field, and it drops in. Base hit. Congratulations, John Andrioli, in your second big league at bat. You pick up your first major league hit. And a proud father.
You bet.
Trying to play cool.
Struggling with it.
Now batting, number 1, Jordan Beckham.
John will never forget it.
What a great moment. 1 out, 1 on for Beckham. Now Scott tells the story when he was first called up to the majors. If I'm remembering this right, he came up for a couple of days. Mike then was optioned back down to the minors. Had a couple of at bats, did not get a hit. Then came back up to the major leagues later, and it took him somewhere in the neighborhood, I want to say, of 20 at bats to get his first major league hit.
They kept him around?
Yes, and so as Scott has said before, he's always amazed when a young player can pick up his first major league hit in his first at bat, or in John's case, in his second. So pretty quick. Nothing in 2. I think the ultimate, though, is a guy who used to play here for the A's, Stephen Vogt. Vogt made his major league debut. Of course, we know him now as an all-star catcher. Made his big league debut in 2012 with Tampa Bay and began 0 for 27 before being released by Tampa Bay and wondering if he would ever land in the major leagues again.
It turned out that he's known more for his hitting than anything.
Then came over to the A's and went hitless in his first few at-bats with Oakland. In fact, he began his career 0 for 34 before picking up his first hit, and we've seen him in the Midsummer Classic a number of times. 1 out, 1 on. 1-0 Mariners. High out to center field. Left center now. Canna has it. 2 down. Take a look at our Snoqualmie Casino around the league. Boy, the Astros red hot. They have won 8 of 10 day baseball from downtown Houston. They take down the Giants in interleague play. Also a late come from behind win for the Angels. They went 5-4 in Toronto. 4 runs in the 9th inning for Mike Scioscia's crew.
A couple of ground outs for Gene. 1 to third, 1 to short. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Lowry, the second baseman, playing in the middle.
Chapman throws to first for out number 3. Well, John Andreoli, a night he will never forget. Second big league at bat, picks up his first major league hit. Park night at Safeco Field for just $50. You and man's best friend will receive tickets to the game, a Mariners Dog Food Bowl, and the chance to walk around the bases post-game. Just visit mariners.com/bark to pick up your tickets. Rangers in town, part of a long homestand. We'll go back to the Ford Sports Desk, bring in Bill Kruger. Bill, we were pretty impressed, and Marco was able to work around those 2 walks to begin the 4th. What have you made so far of the left-handers' night?
catcher, number 21, Jonathan.
Bill, do you see as the season wears on that his curveball will improve? We've seen him throw it at times. We saw one already here in this game where he can throw a really good curveball, but it seems to be a little bit inconsistent. I know one of the things that I've talked to Scott about, and we've actually seen it, but Scott likes his cutter, but he wants him to use it less, thinks it could be more effective if that was the case. Do you feel the same way?
Now batting second baseman, number 1.
Hey, Bill, we've been talking about the home road splits a little bit for the A's, and you, of course, broke into the big leagues with the A's. You've pitched many a time here at the Oakland Coliseum. Between the damp, cold air at night and the sea of foul territory, is this kind of a pitcher's paradise? Now, Bill, tell us how you feel about things.
I agree with him. Keep going.
Three ground ball outs from Marco Gonzalez and some hot takes from Bill Kruger. Bill, as always, good catching up with you. We'll catch you more on Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines. Well, going to the game, it's a quick and easy trip on the Sounder train, Link Light Rail, and ST Express buses. You can plan your trip. Just simply go to soundtransit.org. First pitch strike to Guillermo Heredia. Guillermo has scored the only run of this game so far. It's a call in his favor, 1-1. Check swing. Plenty of speed to first. Gossett throw on line. One down.
Thought that had a chance to work, but Gossett off the mound quickly.
Hey, Mike, we were talking about the out-of-town scores and the Astros winning 8 of 10 and winning already today against the Giants. Last night we mentioned how Garrett Cole gave up a home run to his brother-in-law, Brandon Crawford. And he spoke after the game saying that he has signed each of his cleats from that game with the home run call from each Giants broadcaster. Adios pelota from John Miller. And it is out of here. The very comical Dwayne Kuiper TV call that we hear so often, one of the best in the business.
Yep.
And signed each shoe with one of those calls and gave them to his brother-in-law, which I thought was very fitting. Pretty clever take on it. I don't know how much one guy enjoys getting another guy's shoes game worn, but
I think
in that particular case,
yeah, that circumstance, they'll end up in the house somewhere.
Gobbled up by Chapman at third. 2 outs, both on the ground.
Now batting, number 15, Kyle Seager.
Now Gossett, who had really struggled in 2 starts in the majors this year prior to tonight. Both those starts coming against the Angels, has pitched well so far. 2 outs into the 6th. Strike 1. Kyle behind 0-2. Take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next. Tomorrow, Felix up on the mound. You can see his numbers so far this season. A terrific track record in his career against these Oakland A's, especially in this ballpark. Josh Lucas will counter for Bob Melvin. He's making his first start since A-ball in 2013. It will essentially be a bullpen day for the A's. Bob Melvin saying Lucas will be on a pitch count in the neighborhood of 50 or so.
He's trying to pick up his 6th win of the year.
His rotation very banged up. The 2-2. Full count now to Seager. If he can reach, Healy is on deck. Ryan with a loud out to center field his last time up. Gets a piece to stay alive.
And a pretty good battle. 8 pitches so far in this at bat. .84 total. 59 strikes for Gossett. Staying with the fastball slider combination.
You know, Mike, if you are a left-handed hitter with some power, this is a pretty tough ballpark to hit one out. If you want to pull it, you see the high wall with the out-of-town scores, and off to the right, Well, he gets big in a hurry out to 367. I mean, really, the sweet spot is from 330, the foul pole, to 367 to park one out to climb the steps. Because after that,
Climb the steps, yes.
you got to get it up in the air.
A little bit easier tonight, maybe because of the wind blowing out to right, although it's slowed down a little bit.
Over towards the shift and into right field off of Barretto's glove. Lengthy battle won by Kyle Seager.
Now 11 pitches. Solid base hit.
Download the app, play for free, start your streak, and compete to win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS.
Ryan.
That's nice to see for Kyle. He was trying to break out of an 0 for 20. On base now for the first time with a hit tonight.
Sometimes that'll get you going. 11 pitches in that at bat. With every swing, he was getting a little bit closer as far as his timing goes. And it was a sharp base hit.
Two outs, a man aboard for Healy. In play, Barretto, the young second baseman, scoops it out of the dirt. And that ends the top of the sixth. We go to the home half. Mariners still own the only run tonight. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Neither one of us can do that. Here is Simeon. First pitch strike.
Marco, 70 pitches so far, 46 strikes. In the fifth inning, 3 ground ball outs, some weak ground ball outs off of the changeup. It's been a good pitch for him tonight.
The 1-2. Comes in and it gets the knob of the bat maybe for Semien. Up a little higher. Another 1-2. Now Marco with a very quick 5th inning. 3 ground ball outs, 8 pitches in total. Facing the top of the order here in the 6th. Seventh pitch to Semien. These two teams will have a quick turnaround tomorrow. 12:35 the first pitch time. Final game of the series. Mariners will be getting home at a very reasonable hour tomorrow night. Getting a lengthy homestand that starts off with the Twins. Another foul ball. Back for the Mariners, the schedule really starts to turn in their favor in terms of the travel. This is as easy a travel as the Mariners will have ever a flight to Oakland. Nothing to it here, just 3 days. Then a 10-game homestand beginning. More pitches to Semien than in the 5th inning altogether for Gonzalez.
Well, he's really been mixing it up, and Semien, his timing has been off. He's been late a number of times. He was out in front of a cutter and he pulled foul down the third baseline. Change up on the outside corner. Now 10 pitches in the at bat.
Still has a way to go to get to the Brandon Belt at bat from earlier this year against the Angels. A 21, I believe, pitch at bat. Pitch number 11. In play this time. Deep in the hole for Segura. Out number 1. Back to the Ford Sports Desk. What's happening, Ange?
Now batting left fielder, number 18, Chad Pinder.
Very good news. Thank you, Angie. In steps Chad Pinder. Now that Brandon Belt at bat that was 21 pitches that came earlier this year against the Angels, that was essentially a modern day record since they've started tracking these things. You know, when Commissioner Manfred talks about pace of play, Mike,
that wasn't helping.
Blow, it took 12 minutes and 45 seconds for that at bat to end.
How did it end?
A fly ball out to right field. Which I hope they threw that ball back and it's gone to Cooperstown. That needs to be authenticated immediately.
It may have.
Line left field, hook foul. I mean, what's more, forget just time. I mean, if you want to go to your local sporting goods store and you want to go buy yourself an official Major League Baseball, that's going to set you back in the neighborhood of $25 with tax. That is a lot of foul balls. At one point, he fouled off 10 in a row. That at bat cost baseball hundreds of dollars, Mike.
Everybody's okay, right?
Still 0-2 on Pender.
A lot of foul balls in this inning right now.
Taking home a souvenir. Mariners fan in the house. Check swing. He goes. 2 outs. 5th strikeout for Marco Gonzalez.
Tries to check his swing, ties him up with a good fastball.
Designated hitter, number 8, Jed Lowry.
Here comes Jed Lowry. You know, while we're on the topic of foul balls, Mike,
Ain't this inning so far.
we see it all the time where a ball not necessarily is fouled away, but let's say a pitch hits the dirt. Mike picks it up, immediately throws it away,
Yes.
and that baseball is never to be seen again. What happens to that ball?
Well, it depends on what caused the ball to go out of play, but they have a gentleman that actually sits by the dugout and will collect the baseballs just to see what the scuff marks are looking like. But the majority of end up in a shopping basket for batting practice.
That basket gets pretty full.
Yeah.
Which, given the rate in which balls get out of the ballpark during BP,
I was down at the cage today. You would see why.
it's a good thing it gets replenished every night. Lined left field. Lowry, after 8 in a row were sat down, gets aboard with a 2-out single. Now, there's fun for the entire family at Safeco Field on Sunday. All kids 14 and under will receive a Mike Zunino lunch bag courtesy of Aquafina. Then following the game, all fans will be able to watch the classic baseball movie The Sandlot on Mariners Vision. This is going to be fantastic. Log on to mariners.com to pick up your tickets.
Well, for Marco, 88 pitches now in the game. 59 strikes. He's reached 100 pitches just one time. That was back on the 5th of May against the Angels. And it was exactly 100 pitches. His last outing against the Tigers, he threw 97 pitches.
Now, Chapman, plenty of power. He's the go-ahead run at the plate. Lowry taking off. Out to Segura. Jean's got it. Accurate throw. A little low, but cleaned up by Healy. And that ends the 6th. Tying run stranded.
Moving into the 7th inning. Have the lead 1-0. Marco Gonzalez really pitching well tonight. Mariners scoring their 1 run back in the 4th inning. Ben Gamble will lead things off. Ben so far 0 for 2. Next pitch for Gossett will be 90. So the bullpen is busy for the A's.
Ben does not go 2-0. Four-pitch walk.
Leadoff walk with some speed. And that will bring up Mike Zunino. A couple of flyouts for Mike. Was robbed of a home run.
Mike Zunino.
That was back in the 3rd inning.
First walk tonight from Gossett begins the 7th. Oh, 1. Of course, it was Mike with the big blast last night to tie the game late.
A 2-run home run for Mike, his 7th home run on the year. Line drive.
Mike thinking that one over. 0-2. Mike is one of a number of guys who have talked about how much they love the batter's eye here at the Coliseum. They are not all created equally. Up and in. And just simply put, there's some places where you see the ball better than others.
Campbell at first with 1 stolen base on the year.
Over towards the bullpen.
Colomb and Dahl getting loose. Colomb, the only left-hander they have in their pen.
Another 1-2. Campbell aboard with a leadoff walk. Evens up on Mike. Andreoli making his major league debut tonight. 1 for 2. Waiting his turn on deck. Now the 2-2. Down on strikes. Well, make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Watch the Mariners pregame show every Sunday to find out your fan favorite plays of the week. Plus, each month, one lucky fan will win a Coors Light Yeti cooler just for participating. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. The Andreoli family flying all the way from Massachusetts to Oakland. Watch their son make his major league debut tonight.
And see his first big league hit. Solid line drive base hit into right field.
John, who played for Team Italy in the WBC back in 2017. Batting here with 1 out and 1 on. There goes Gamble. Pitch out, down to second. Gets away, he is safe. Gamble's second bag this year.
Thought he may take a chance. He's on a pitch out. So the A's were able to guess right. But not able to handle the throw. Second stolen base for Ben.
RBI chance now for Andreoli.
Mariners 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Not many opportunities tonight.
Into right field and dropping. Piscotty charging in, and he makes his second spectacular catch tonight. Takes a hit away, and it keeps Gamble at second.
Now batting, number 1, Jordan Beckham.
He's made a couple of good catches tonight. Went over the fence to rob a home run. Primera Supermo and the sliding catch here.
Two outs, Gamble at second. That brings up Gordon Beckham. Strike. Beckham 1 for 2 tonight. And both pitchers have been on their game tonight. Marco 6 scoreless. Oh, and 2. The Mariners try not to waste a leadoff walk. But Beckham behind, nothing in 2. The opposite way, Piscotty charging towards the line, towards the bullpen. He's got it, found ground. And it ends the inning. Gamble is stranded. We stretch. Mariners have the only run. With Washington's lottery play today. Cool night by the bay. 59 degrees at first pitch, has dropped since then. Mariners have the only run, 1-0. Marco at 90 pitches. Back on to work the bottom of the 7th. Only 2 hits over 6 scoreless.
And again, he's reached 100 pitches just 1 time this year. Ryan Cook is getting loose in the pen. Hard throwing right-hander for the Mariners.
There's Cook.
91 pitches, 61 strikes for Marco.
One ball and 1 strike to Marcana, leading off the home 7th.
He's had a good curveball tonight. Mixing it up with his changeup.
Two and two.
Just a little help. He'll take it.
Runs it full to Canna. Olsen on deck. Here comes Marco's payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 6th strikeout tonight for Marco Gonzalez.
And this is going to be the cut fastball. 88 miles an hour.
Now batting, first baseman, number 28, Matt Olson.
You mentioned the 100 pitches earlier this year for Marco. Only the 2nd time he's reached 100 pitches in a game. 109 his career high. That seems like forever ago, back in 2014, pre-Tommy John. And play. Been a pretty quiet night defensively for Healy. Easy out there. 2 down.
And a quick out. Marco now at 97 pitches.
Well, Scott staying put.
Now batting right fielder, number
And whenever I think
25,
about a pitcher getting 200 pitches, I think of Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven, who said, "I'm still waiting for a pitcher to spontaneously combust on the mound when reaching 100 pitches." Now for Marco, it's been a little bit different post Tommy John.
Right.
Building him back up again. That's why that start earlier this year with 100 pitches was such a milestone for him.
The other part with Marco pitching so well tonight and pitching here into the 7th inning. Hopefully he can record this out, get through the 7th. The Mariners ended up sending out Dan Altavilla. So with all these games that they've played in a row, it's going to be important for the starters to get as deep as they possibly can.
Last 8 games, Mariners starters, an ERA barely over 2. There comes pitch number 100 for Marco. A check swing, an appeal. CB says no dice. 2-1.
For Marco, now over 100 pitches and working here in the 7th. Everything to Piscotty is down and away. I believe this will be his last hitter.
Lucroy on deck. Cook continuing to warm. 2-2. Slice to right. Andrioli over, fights the lights maybe a little bit, makes the catch to end the inning. 7 scoreless spun tonight by Marco Gonzalez. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Amtrak Cascades. What a beautiful way to travel. Visit AmtrakCascades.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 1-0 Mariners. New pitcher up on the mound, a guy with a big personality, Ryan Dull, working for the A's.
12 appearances, high ERA, over 6. 10 innings, 11 strikeouts. Fastball slider, his average fastball at 91 miles an hour.
Top of the order here for the Mariners, Segura, Heredia, and Cruz. A rare 0 for 3 night so far for Segura. 3 ground ball outs. What a night for Marco Gonzalez. Career best 7 innings. No runs, barely any base runners. Just a couple of hits. Won an infield single.
Juan Nicasio getting loose.
Jammed him. Now Marco has been so consistent over the last month or so. About 6 innings every time out. Nice to see him complete a full 7 today. First time in his career. And it just continues the trend for the Mariners with just terrific starting pitching recently.
Back-to-back games for him that he hasn't given up an earned run.
I mean, for Marco, the only complaint he can have is that he walked 2 batters tonight. Guy who has hardly walked a man all season. That's a terrific command.
Just 2 hits.
Lengthy at bat here. Canna scampering back into the shadows. 1 down. Well, as Guillermo Heredia digs in, we will take a look at AT&T achieving more. Mike, this kind of fits in with what we've been talking about recently. Mariners offense late in games. How about these numbers for Guillermo, 7th inning or later?
They've really done a lot of damage, and Heredia right in the middle of it. Had the big base hit last night in the 10th inning to drive in the go-ahead run, a double.
Check swing, 1-1.
Mariners have hit 23 home runs in the 7th inning or later. That's second most in the major leagues. 8 of those home runs have either tied or put them ahead. They have some power. I was talking to Edgar about it today. You and I were talking about it last night and asking him about it. And he was saying, obviously they have talented hitters. He said that they have power, which speaks to the 23 home. Whoa, what a shot.
Dole can't even keep his feet. You can understand why.
Hit him on the wrist, I think. And this is going to be a hit. Line drive right back at him. And that is off his wrist.
Now, the A's have had so many injuries to their pitching staff. Now, Dole says he's all right.
Well, Coulomb, the left-hander, is getting ready in the pen. He's getting loose for Seager. Nelson Cruz is due up. It'll be Seager after him.
Dole testing things out. He says, let's go. One out, one on for Cruz.
Now batting.
And Heredia will add to that 385 batting average.
You're right. You know, with injuries come opportunities.
That's right.
And so far, Guillermo's certainly taken advantage of that. Off of Lucroy. This
And it
bounces
stands.
over the screen.
Yep. Wild pitch.
That's not easy to do.
It's like a slider bounces in front of the plate, actually in the other batter's box. Primero Supermone just spiking the slider.
So not a pass ball, you're saying?
I'm saying no. I don't think that would be fair to the veteran Lucroy.
We were talking about this last night. The A's lead the majors in wild pitches. That one might count for 2. Now the Mariners would love to create a little breathing room here in the 8th inning. The only run on either side crossed the plate way back in the 4th. The Mariners In the long history of the Mariners playing in Oakland, only 3 times have the Mariners ever had 1-0 wins in the Coliseum. Most recently back in 2009. Recently, maybe not the right word, 94, then 79 before that.
Four pitches to Nelson, 3 sliders. Everything away from him.
Danny Coulomb, Santiago Castillo getting loose. The 2-2 to Nelly. Swings through it.
And another slider.
Pitching change for the A's. Heredia at second, 2 outs. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By BNSF, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Jack in the Box, try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. Well, a pitching change for Bob Melvin with 2 outs and a man aboard here in the 8th inning. Danny Coulomb taking over for Ryan Dole.
Fastball, slider, curveball. Average fastball 89 miles an hour. But he will mix it up. (17 appearances, ERA just under 5, 19 strikeouts and 16 in the third. He's given up 3 home runs this year.
Facing Kyle Seager. Now, Mike, hopefully all of this will be a moot point after this at bat or at some point of the 9th. But as of right now, the Mariners are leading 1-0 without an actual RBI. Kyle was not credited with the run batted in on a fielder's choice E6.
I don't think I agree with that, but okay. The Mariners are 0 for 6 tonight, runners in scoring position.
Jacks a swing. They appeal, say that it goes. 0-2. And is going down as an unearned run, at least as of right now. See if he can bring Heredia home once again. Oh, 2 to Seager. Reaching for it. It ends the inning. Heredia stranded at the second base rather as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Nicasio on the pitch. Bank difference of the game tonight. It happens to be Mariners starting pitcher Marco Gonzalez, a career best 7 innings, scoreless, only a couple of hits.
2 hits, a couple of walks, 6 strikeouts, 102 pitches for him. Again, just really mixing it up. His 2 walks came in the same inning. That was back in the 4th. To lead that inning off, was able to pitch out of the inning.
Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen. Up on the mound to work the 8th, Juan Nicasio.
For Nicasio, 23 appearances on the year, a 5.82 ERA, 22 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Fastball, 91 to 95, and a slider.
Strike 1 to Lucroy. Now for Juan, we saw him for just a brief period of time taken out of that 8th inning role. Working here in the 8th, trying to preserve a 1-0 lead. Joyce on deck to bat for Barreto. Nicasio's 2-1. Levels it out 2-2. Full count.
Missing with his best fastball so far at 94.
Nicasio's 3-2. Slugged down to the gap in right center field. Andreoli is able to flag it down and make the catch. What a night it's turning out to be for John Andreoli. His first
really
big league hit, and now a critical catch to begin the bottom of the 8th.
It really is, and Mariners needed an athlete with everybody that has been hurt and showing some speed, covering the gap. Great concentration. It's not an easy catch.
Taking a hit away from Lucroy. Now, Scott said that he plays with a football mentality, Mike, and with number 57 on his back, he looks like a linebacker racing to the gap there.
Good speed, though.
One out for Joyce. One and one. Joyce's numbers so far on the season not all that impressive, but we have seen him be effective as a pinch hitter. Coming off a big year last season. Time called.
See, Mike, he was set up for the high fastball. Casio was shaking him off, and then he showed him a slider.
The 1-2. Again out to the gap in right center. Andrioli having to play this one on a hop. One out pinch hit single by Joyce, tying run aboard. Solid contact by each of the first two ace hitters.
Pazos getting loose in the pen. Dustin Fowler going to run.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
There comes Semien. Ball one. Fowler, the rookie, very good speed. One ball and one strike. Go ahead run at the plate with some pop. Now Blake Trinan getting loose alongside Casilla. Hayes closer. We saw him last night. Fowler 2 steals and 3 tries this season.
A bigger lead.
There he goes. Outside, tough one to throw on. Tag applied. He is out at second. That is a grown man's throw from Zunino.
Did he throw that from a knee? I know he was able to get rid of it quickly. A tough pitch. It looked like it was a slider down and away. That was a close play. Here's a look at the slide. Primera Supermo and the tag by Beckham.
They will challenge.
Oh, he's out.
He is out.
Yes.
Well, not quite from a knee, Mike, but I see your
Close,
point nonetheless.
Yeah. He was able to get rid of it quickly in an accurate throw. See him tag him right on the chest before his foot hits the base. You never know, but I feel like it's pretty obvious.
completely agree. Especially given the fact that this call originally went in the Mariners' favor. We will find out. He's out. Call stands.
Big time play by Mike Zunino. Again, not an easy pitch to throw on, down and away, and just getting rid of it quickly.
Good tag by Beckham at second. 2 outs. Bases are empty. So Nicasio getting some help from Andreoli in right. From Zunino behind the plate.
Good fastball at 95.
To Simeon. He got him. Down swinging. And that ends the 8th inning. Pretty memorable night for John Andreoli making his major league debut. They go back to his second at bat tonight, Mike.
Solid line drive, base hit into right field. He will get the baseball.
Simeon taking some, Segura some late BP there. He'll put that away for safekeeping. And a terrific catch by Andreoli as well. On the bottom of the 8th, we start the 9th. Santiago Casilla, the new pitcher up on the mound for the A's, facing Ryan Healy. Limbos him back.
For Casilla, 14 appearances, a 3.6 ERA. Opponent's hitting just 149 against him.
Inside again.
Fastball, curveball for Casilla. Average fastball 93.
Line drive into left field. Healy aboard for the first time. Leadoff single for the Mariners. Fans, as we continue our annual Ultimate Fan Contest this season, we'd like to extend an invitation to all Northwest sports fans to join us on July 7th at Safeco Field. Receive a view level ticket and your choice of an Ultimate Northwest t-shirt for $19 or a main level seat and t-shirt for $37 when you purchase through this special offer. For details, visit mariners.com/ultimate. Ball one, Ben Gamble.
Edwin Diaz getting loose in the pen.
Two and 0.
Let's see if Ben can do something with a fastball.
Now 3-0. A couple of pitches have not missed by much. Good eye by Gamble, though. Zunino on deck. And a home run robbed earlier tonight. Four-pitch walk for the second straight plate appearance for Gamble. 2 on, nobody out.
We were talking about it earlier with the Mariners, 7th inning or later. The 23 home run, second to the Yankees. Mike with 4 of them.
We saw one last night for Mike.
Now batting, number 3, Mike Zunino.
2-run shot last night of the 7th. Healy at second, Gambled at first. You know, I would have to think that for Mike, one of the best in the business behind the plate, he must love situations like we saw in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pinch runner comes on, a guy with speed who is out there for one purpose and one purpose only, get to second. Mike knows it's coming. I mean, that is as one-on-one in this game as you can find other than pitcher and batter.
Yeah, he takes a lot of pride in it. I think it was just before we left on this road trip on the homestand. He ended up doing the same thing, throwing a runner out in 9th inning of a game, a 1-run game.
Fowler has stayed in the game in center field. Canna has moved to left, Pinder to second. Out off the hands. Back to the throw.
Just trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
Ruled ball 2.
Mariners 0 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. 1 for 7 last night.
The 2-2. Check swing. Lucroy wants an appeal. He holds back. It's a full count. John Andrioli on deck. Healy a leadoff single. Gamble a 4-pitch walk. Casilla having a rough go of things here so far in the 9th inning. The 3-2. Trying to give Diaz some breathing room in the bottom of the 9th. The 3-2. Broken bat, fly ball, left field. Canna coming in. He tumbles and he makes the catch. Talk about a tough luck night at the plate for Zunino, getting the home run robbed in the 3rd and a hit taken away here in the 9th.
Well, he had to cover a lot of ground. Diving catch. And able to hold on to it.
57, John Andrioli.
Proper attire for a robbery in right field and left field. See the reaction from Mike. One down. RBI chance here, John Andrioli. Gets away from Lucroy. Both runners up a station. Healy into 3rd, Gamble to 2nd.
Pass ball. Now the A's will bring their infield in.
Outside.
And another look at the catch by Canna.
One out, 2nd and 3rd. Away. Andrioli making his major league debut tonight. A chance to drive in a critical run or 2. Mike, can you put yourself in his mind right now? Big situation.
He's done the hard part, and that is get himself into a hitter's count. Now it's just a matter of whether he wants to commit to the fastball or not. You have first base open. Casilla has a pretty good breaking ball. We'll see what happens.
Healy at 3rd, Gamble at 2nd. The 3-1. Bases are loaded. Andrioli aboard for the 2nd time.
Nobody getting loose in the A's pen. And Daniel Vogelbach will pinch hit for Gordon Beckham.
This is Daniel Vogelbach pinch hitting for Beckham. 20 Vogelbach.
Your attention, please.
So Romine will probably go in and play second base.
Batting for Beckham, number 20, Daniel
It really is
Vogelbach.
kind of interesting on a night where the A's have made a number of defensive gems, including the home run robbery Piscotty to Zunino, that the only run so far tonight has scored courtesy of an error. Maybe that'll change here.
And they've used the one left-handed reliever that they have.
Strike one. So they say. Haley, Gamble, and Rioli all aboard. One out, bases loaded, top of the ninth. Casilla really having some command issues.
22 pitches, 8 strikes.
Low, smothered by Lucroy behind the plate. Casilla has walked 2 already this inning and has run a 3-ball count to each of the last 3 hitters. Working with the bags packed. The 2-1 in play, back to Casilla, comes home with it. Double play. It ends the inning, and it takes us to the bottom of the ninth. Edwin Diaz on to secure a 1-0 win. So far tonight, Mike.
Going on contact. The error by Simeon. Heredia scores. That is it.
And we still had some daylight. Edwin Diaz on to work the second straight night. A 1-0 Mariners lead.
1-2-3 ninth for Edwin last night. Couple of strikeouts. 42 strikeouts on the year and 24 in the third. Opponents hitting 113 off of him. Upper 90s with his fastball and a hard slider.
Two, 3, and 4 due up for Bob Melvin's A's. Chad Pinder to lead things off. No wiggle room for Diaz. Strike one. Diaz quickly ahead 0-2. Last night, very efficient Edwin. And inning scoreless. Couple of strikeouts, 16 pitches, 13 strikes last night. Three pitches, all strikes. Pinder disposed of.
I think it's been the biggest improvement for him this year is his slider. He's only given up 2 hits on his slider all year, and the biggest reason why, another swing and miss at it, because it's typically out of the strike zone. He has the good fastball. Hitters trying to cheat to catch up to the heater, and the slider down and away. Been a really good pitch for him.
0-1. Diaz with the second highest swing and miss rate on a slider in the majors so far this year. 57%. 0-2.
And ahead with the fastball.
One and two. Missing away. And Lowry, in a lot of ways this year, has been the A's best hitter for average and power. The 2-2. He got him. Slider finishes Lowry. Back-to-back strikeouts to open up the bottom of the ninth.
3 sliders in a row after a couple of fastballs. And again, all 3 sliders off the plate. This one down out of the strike zone.
Last hurdle, Matt Chapman. 0-1.
Slider down out of the strike zone. So difficult to try to check your swing knowing that he throws 97 to 98 miles an hour. That did not miss by much.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Well, they have been helpless on that slider. Lowry wasn't even close. The 1-2. Missing this time.
He's only thrown 1 slider for a strike that was taken. That was by Lowry on the first pitch to get ahead. Outside of that, every slider he's thrown has been off the plate or down out of the strike zone.
The 2-2. Ball game over. Diaz strikes out the side in order. The Mariners now 10 games over 500, and for the first time this year, the Mariners have won 5 in a row.
You mentioned the numbers, and the Mariners have really had to lean on their pitching, especially the last 2 nights, but really the starters over the last couple of weeks have pitched well. The bullpen has been terrific. Andrioli, what a night for him. His first major league start, his first major league hit. A great catch out in right center field late in the ball game. Congratulations to John.
A 1-0 Mariners win, the 4th ever for the Mariners here in the Coliseum. What a ball game. Mariners post game presented by Alaska Airlines. It begins right now.